Hello. I never know where to hold the camera for these. I feel like I remember watching the first episode back, and it was like over my chin. I don't know if you remember Leafy is here, the YouTuber, but he used to do that to hide his chin. That was quite funny. Anyway, so it's the end of second week of term 2 of my engineering degree. Just gonna do another video diary. I had some things written down that I was going to say, and then I lost the piece of paper that I wrote I lost the piece of paper that I wrote, and so I tried making a new one, but I couldn't remember what the things were. I'm really trying to get filler words out of my speech, and it's really messing me up because sometimes I just stop talking, but I am getting better at it. I just said great. Anyway, my hair is very different at the moment. I don't know if I like it. I think it's alright. It's not too bad. I've got a metal hairband in. I kind of look like, I don't know what I look like, but I think it's alright. Still growing the mustache as well. Still going strong from Movember. Right. What am I going to say? Dissertation. That's what I've written down here. So I think my dissertation's actually really helped me. So I'm making some electronic drumsticks. I won't go into too many details, but I think it's pretty cool. The trouble is I've had a lot of setbacks, and I think what's helped me the most is having just a big project. It's something that not really done before, and especially the management of this big project has been really helpful, especially with I'm only saying that because I've made some improvement in my management of my dissertation, and how I've improved is it's helped me in uni in general. Like, for example, I now something kind of simple, but I plan the whole week ahead, and that just lets me. Okay, so the reason I do that, so at the start of my dissertation, we had to do this thing called a Gantt chart, which is just a big timeline of the project. And I remember. So we had to submit a project feasibility study at the very start of the thing, of the dissertation, where we talk about how we're going to run the project and this sort of stuff. And one of the things was a Gantt chart, and I remember putting it off because I didn't really know what it was, and I kind of just when I looked into it a bit, I was like, this is like really silly, because how the hell am I going to know what to do for each week of the project? Like, it's just not realistic. But I ended up doing it because I needed to do it for the grades, and it's actually quite a common theme. I'm trying to think of how to say this, but just like setting a plan and sticking to it. It's something that I kind of always resisted, especially with my way of thinking, which is really resistant to being inefficient and wasting time. And the thing with creating a plan is, like, what happens if there's a delay? Like, let's say I schedule in 1 week to do this, but it actually takes 2 weeks. Or let's say I schedule in 1 week and it only takes 1 day. And that was going through my mind when I was creating this project plan. But I ended up doing it anyway. And what I realized is that it sounds so silly, but I just realized I don't need to be perfect. Like, I don't need to do every bit of the project as fast as possible. Like, I can do a bit of the project and chill out for a bit. that's something I'm working on this year, like just taking time off. I remember in first year, I felt like I never had any time off at all. It felt like I was just doing work. And here's the thing, in first year, I wasn't really doing much work. I was just going on my phone, scrolling Instagram Reels. But I knew I had to do work whilst I was doing this, so it felt like I never got a rest. And it felt like I could never take a break because I still had so much work to do, and I felt like I didn't deserve the break because I hadn't done any work. But the whole time I wasn't doing anything wasn't resting me because I was thinking about all the work I had to do. So this year I've definitely again with this dissertation, one of the suggestions. So with the dissertation, we've got to write a logbook, and there's many different parts to the logbook, and one of them is well-being. And you've got to talk about what you're doing for your well-being. And I remember the example for the well-being was I just submitted this piece of coursework. I'm going to take the rest of the day off uni work. One sec, my screen has just gone into nightlight mode because it's 10 p.m. and I set it to do that, and that's really annoying. Anyway, what was I saying? Fuck. I've just forgotten what I was saying. Oh, that's actually so annoying. I was on a roll there. I had something to say. Something about my dissertation. Oh, that's actually really annoying me. Oh well. I'm debating whether to just stop the video and just watch what I just did. Okay, I think I might do that. So I watched the footage back and I realised a couple of things. One, I can't remember what I was going to say. But also, why am I sniffling so much? I think it's because... Wait, let me move my laptop. The hell? I think it's because I don't know how to breathe properly when I'm speaking. Because I don't have a blocked nose. I just keep sniffling. Also, I noticed that I kiss my lips a lot, like when I'm thinking. It's weird. I'm not used to watching myself speak. I think this is quite good actually, just to get an idea of what I'm saying. I wrote some stuff down. Did I sniffle again? Probably. I actually had no idea I did that until I just watched that video back. Right. So I don't exactly know what I was saying, but it was a bit of a mess. It wasn't very structured. I think I was talking about the logbook, the well-being part of it, where the example was that someone took time off uni work because they submitted a piece of coursework. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But another thing I wanted to touch on was how it's a common theme in my life, like sticking to it, setting a plan, sticking to it. And another example of that is budgeting with money. So in first year, I didn't really set a budget. And partly the reason that was is because I didn't know what jobs I was going to be working, so I didn't know what my income would be or could be. And then in later years I got more streams of income, and I now know how much I can earn in a year. I mean, how much I typically earn in a year. But I still didn't want to budget. So in first year I just spent the bare minimum because I didn't know what I was doing. But I realised that I didn't know how much I wanted to spend on things that weren't the bare minimum, like clothing or socializing or I don't know. There was some just general stuff that you buy, like even like upgrading food. Like I was crazy about not spending money in first year. I remember I wouldn't buy certain fruit, or yeah, like, because they were too expensive, like blueberries or grapes. I'd just buy apples or oranges because they were cheaper slightly. But then it came to a point where I realized, like, I've actually got to spend money, and so I started budgeting, and I resisted this a lot. Not a lot, but it wasn't something that I thought I should do. I remember in first year, one of my flatmates, he was like, "I'm gonna spend £100 a week. That's my budget." And I remember thinking that was silly. Like, again, like, what if you need to spend more? What if you need to spend less? Similar to the planning of the project, my dissertation. But yeah, just realizing that I'm not a robot. Like, I can spend a bit more. I don't have to spend the bare minimum. I don't have to be perfect with my spending of my money. So I created a budget, and I'm pretty much sticking to that. And but even a budget for making money, as in working. Like, so I work as a lifeguard at the sports centre here, and it's tempting to just work a lot of shifts, but I need to set a limit of how much I need to work. Because in first year I had a couple jobs, but the hours were so few that I basically needed to work every single shift in order to make enough money. I did it again. I just sniffled. I don't have a blocked nose or a runny nose. I'm just breathing. Oh, that's lost my train of thought. Yeah, so now I've got a lot more ways of making money, and I have the ability to work as many hours as I want, especially with lifeguarding, because there's always shifts going. So I need to set a budget. And so what I did first is what I always do when I don't know how to do something, and I just went to YouTube and looked up how this YouTuber budgets for his day-to-day life, and the stuff he talked about was pretty good. And yeah, I'm getting better at it. Just realizing that I don't have to be perfect at everything, and I can set a task and how much I want to do, and I can chill when I've done it. I don't have to spend all of my time doing work. Right. I get really out of breath when I do this. I don't know what it is. Is it just speaking in general? Or is it just speaking to a camera? I don't know. One thing I'm hoping from this YouTube from me uploading these YouTube videos is that, so I'm not typically a very open person, and that came very apparent this past year or two. And I want to be able to be more open. But the issue is, I can be really open with new people, but I struggle with. Say my laptop's freezing. No, it's good. I struggle with. Struggle. I guess people I've spent a lot of time with, or my family. I got better at opening up to my friends from school, who I've known for 10 plus years. 10 plus years? No, almost 10 years. And that was quite, I guess it was difficult at first, but now it's like nothing. It's not difficult to me. But one thing that is difficult is opening up, I guess, to my family. And the part of the reason why I'm uploading these videos is so that, because I know there's a slight possibility that one of them's going to watch it, and I kind of want to be more open with them, but I find it hard. So I guess this is a sort of stepping stone. A stepping stone to that. I keep noticing when I sniff now. That's really distracting. Yeah. I want to become more detached from my family. Like, I don't want them to have, I guess, control of over my life. Not in the sense that they want to control my life, but in the sense that there's things that I don't want to tell them, and that has implications elsewhere. Like, I think part of the reason why I struggled so much in university was it might have been linked to me not being able to open up. Yeah. What else? I think I'll end that there. Don't really have much else to say. Oh no, I'll talk about one other thing. Is my personality? I don't know. So I'd consider myself an introvert, but with some extroverted qualities. And the reason I say that is because I really struggle in social environments where there's a lot of people and there's a lot of noise. So I'm going to have to speak over people in order to be heard. But I do really well in like one-on-one conversation. And I think part of the reason that is maybe so when I was younger, I just didn't know how to speak to anyone. Like, I remember I didn't even realize this, but I remember in like year 8, I was walking with these two guys back from so I lived quite close to school, and these two guys would walk past my house each day to get to school. I'd see them walking past, and one day I asked to walk with them, and they said yeah. So I'd walk with them to school every day. And one day, when we got to school, one of them asked me, "Why don't you speak?" And I guess I was kind of shocked when he asked that, because I never even realized it. But every day when I was walking to school with these two guys, I don't think I ever said a word. Which is crazy. So I guess I just had to learn how to speak to people. And I think I've learned how to speak to people one-on-one, but the social side of it, where there's lots of people, I'm still catching up, because it's just a different style of conversation. When I'm speaking one-on-one, it's a lot easier to ask questions. I think that's a lot of how I speak to people. It's just a lot of asking questions. Not all of it, but some of it. But when you're in a big group of people, you can't just ask a question. It's more just people like putting input into the conversation. So part of the reason why I struggle in those situations is because I don't know how to. I think another reason is I've been trying to put my finger on it. I can't put my finger on what it actually is, but so I was on a bar crawl yesterday with Salsa Society, and at the very start I was pretty social. I was speaking to people, I was quite lively, And as the day went on, I just got less and less social, and my social battery had just completely drained. And what I end up doing is I just end up speaking to like one or two guys I know really well, and just not really speaking to anyone else. So I think that's quite an introverted quality, because one thing I heard was introverts get energy from not being in a social situation, but extroverts get energy from being in a social situation. So I think part of the reason why I'm not good in those groups is maybe because I'm an introvert. But I think there is something else going on, and I can't put my finger on it. But I'll try and figure it out. I haven't been journaling as much recently. Since I've started these videos, I haven't actually journaled, because I guess I just use this as an excuse not to, because it's a similar thing. But I do want to pick it back up again. I think there's benefit to both types of journaling, because on here I'm less likely to go into deeper topics, because I know people I know might see it. Yeah, I'm gonna end that there.